Good afternoon, Knicks Nation. Welcome to the next edition of Sky Hoops Knicks Dream. To join the conversation, drop your comments in the chat. And also, if you want to be a panelist, I'll be dropping the link to that to become a panelist as well, so that you can join us and chop it up with us. With that being said, we got the notorious BUG in the house. We're gonna chop it up. We're gonna talk about the Knicks winning streak, of course, the most recent game that they played against Dallas, and then eventually we're going to transition into today's game against the Pelicans. So, with that being said, Notorious, kick us off. Give us your rundown of what you thought about the game against the Mavericks.
Um, I'm a true believer now. I believe that we have a good team. I believe that we will go into the playoffs. I already predicted that, but I did not know we were going to win that game. I said we were going to lose that game because our man is out. Our finisher was out, and Burke is a major part of finishing our games. But I think now our team has learned to start putting nails in coffins if they want to win these games, and they're doing what they have to do. And I got to say, RJ has stepped up. I think he got his J back. I'm giving him his J back. He's earned it. He's earned it. Just like a pledgee, he's earned it. He got it back, and he's going to do well. I don't think we should ever get rid of him. I think that he's doing well. I think his progression is doing fine. I think all in all, I think the progression of the Knicks is doing fine. We're finally learning that we need to finish games and not just quit on ourselves in the last 4 minutes. We still have a problem with the last, I would say, 7 to 4 minutes and letting teams catch up to us and making it dramatic where we don't have to. We need to have that Kobe Bryant instinct to just go on and put nails in the coffin. All right. Randall is still our U-Haul, but Randall is an off and on guy. He comes through when he needs to, but he still has some of these dumb passes and dumb turnovers that he has to focus more on. Other than that, I think we're doing great. I think we're doing better than most people think. I think that all the namesayers and commentators that want to make believe the Knicks don't exist are starting to talk now and believe, the same way that Knicks fans are believing.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, look, the record speaks for itself. They're 30-27. Obviously, they're on the cusp of the playoffs. They're ranked sixth in the Eastern Conference in terms of team rankings, and so they're right there. The good thing is that it may be that they're starting to peak now. Yeah, for the most part, they've been a 500 team, but right now with this they're 3 games above 500. That's a nice little cushion, and if they could build on that or even hold that, that's gonna position them very well for the playoffs. Not play in, but playoffs. In terms of individual players and stuff like that, of course, Randall he's been our guy. He's the franchise, and he's had more good games than bad. Yeah, you can count a few bad games maybe in one hand and stuff like that. And so, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt in those bad games because his his body of work overall, is a better sample size than me focusing on the few games that he hasn't played well. Um, Barrett is progressing. I'll give him that. I'm not ready to give him the J back, but I'll give him credit in terms of his progression in understanding how to read the game better offensively, as opposed to early on he was forcing threes and not hitting them. Now he's figuring out, you don't necessarily have to just shoot threes. You can attack the basket, you can rebound, you can assist, you can play some defense. You know what I'm saying? The defense, okay, that's suspect because he's always getting killed on the back door, and that's part of the reason. The reason why he's getting killed on the back door is because he's not opening up When people are going towards the basket, he still has, okay, he's looking at his defender, but he has his back to the ball. Okay. And the way to defend man and see ball, you got to open up. And that's something that, is a little technical thing that he needs to work on. But nonetheless, it's correctable. It's correctable. Um, yeah, the emergence of Burks has been very, very good for the Knicks. Unfortunately, every time he's on the cusp of, locking in his permanent role within the team, something happened. He gets hurt, something happens. You know what I mean? So this is a little setback for him. It's a little setback for the team. And hopefully once he gets back, he'll start getting into his rhythm again. Now, prior to him having this latest episode, I had mentioned in the previous podcast that because of his efficiency, I could see his minutes increasing and Quickly's minutes decreasing, because the role that Burks is playing is pretty much was Quickly was playing during Burks's absence, whether it was because he was injured or because Tibbs wanted him in the lineup over Burks and so forth and so on. Yes, Quickly is talented, but he's very inconsistent or streaky. I could use, either word. Whereas Burks, he has more of a steady hand. And that you could see that very clearly. Yeah, of course, it's a matter of being on and off in terms of his shot, but he's a steady influence. So, that dynamic is going to be interesting, moving forward. But overall, the Knicks are playing tremendous defense. They're going out there and they're competing. There's no quit in this team. And, the culture has been set. So go ahead. Go ahead, BDG.
I have to respect your opinion, but I have to disagree with you.
Let's agree to disagree, brother. It's all good, man. We grown men
That's the way.
up in
That's
here.
the way we do it on this podcast.
For sure. Go ahead, brother.
Um,
I'm gonna get homie the clown up in here.
I would say the roles have changed, and you're right about certain things you say about IQ and Burt, except for Burt is more of a point guard. They were using Burt as a shooting guard, and using Rose as a point guard, and using IQ as a shooting guard, and Rose tell him, "Yo, do your thing. I'm gonna bring the ball down. You just do your thing. Don't worry about me." And that's how they were progressing IQ. But now that Burke has come along, Burke is playing a true point where he's setting people up and he has a shot. So they have to be aware of him on two folds. And he plays defense. And he plays defense. That's why closing the game, you don't know if he's going to take the shot or he's going to give it up. Now, that is the difference. So I don't think it's because of his play the IQ is not getting the play. I think IQ's inconsistency is not getting him to play. I think if he was, he would be in there closing too as the shooting guard. Okay. So that point, I have to disagree. I think Burke is a closing point guard because he knows what he's doing. And at the end of the game, even if the starting guard is in there, this all starting guards that are in there with him are playing shooting guards. They're not playing the point anymore.
True.
Whoever's in there as the second guard is a shooting guard because he's setting everybody up.
Yeah. No, you're right. I'm not gonna disagree with that. I mean, you say tomato, I say tomato, but it's all good. We're looking at the different nuances, so I can't disagree with you. But go ahead, continue, man.
And I think that you're right with the back door with our sophomore boy, because he leaves the back door open all the time. Mm-hmm. As Frazier says, see the man, see the ball. See the man, see the ball. When you rotate down low, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to see the man and the ball, but you're supposed to turn your back to the basket so you can see both and see as your man floats across. That's basic. You have your man, you put your arm out, to protect yourself from any passes. When you go through the middle, you turn around to box them out in case there's a shot. Then when you get to the other side, you turn around again. That's basic basketball. It'll come to him, but all the other parts are coming to him, and I like what I see out of him.
Okay. Now I see that we got Bill Stradamus in the house. So, Bill Stradamus, we're here chopping it up as it relates to the Knicks against the Mavericks on Friday night. So we want you to give us your take. Don't worry about if you're gonna say something that we already say. Say what you gonna say, brother. Say
We
it.
respect
Well, I'm gonna start off by saying good afternoon, Notorious, and good afternoon, Papi Santos. I tell you, that's what you get when I'm in a good mood about my Knicks. You Papi Santos. Now, didn't we say what we were gonna do? And it just went that way. Didn't U-Haul, didn't franchise the U-Haul make his hometown proud? Like I said, he probably had about, maybe 20 or so family and friends in there throughout the arena somehow. And I know that they're going, man, what if we had him instead of Porzingis? That's what their sentiments probably were. That dude could not be stopped. And then you had Mr. Barrett. Mr. Barrett played a nice, solid game himself. However, Notorious, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not
Hey,
yet.
I was the one that took away the J. Remember that?
You and Malik was, jumping out the window. Not yet. Because like I pointed out to you, in the last 5 games of this win streak, on 2 of those games, he didn't even crack double figures. So we can't give him that J back yet. Not yet.
Say it again. Say it again, Bill. Say it again.
But remember, at the end of those games, he was hitting them. And that's what I mean.
He had 7
You can
points
have
and
a
8
guy go for 0 for 20 the whole game, but when it comes down to the last few minutes and we need it, he got it. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm giving him back to Jay. You have plenty of shooters, pure shooters, and Lord knows, just like tonight, well, not tonight, but just like the other night, my heart bleeds because you know me, I think JJ needs to be a Knick. He has a house in Brooklyn, but the basketball.
He's just getting older and older, though. Like, because we all wanted Redick over here, but how old is he? Not 36. So what's he gonna?
I don't care. I don't care if he's 100. If he's shooting like he's shooting now, I'll take him.
But how is he shooting now?
Old man in the corner.
How's he shooting now? I don't think he's doing.
It's shooting. How many did he miss? Think about it. How many did he actually miss?
Let me see.
Look.
And with that
he
being
only
said,
missed one.
Who am I passing the rock to?
No, keep rocking, brother. Keep rocking.
Give
us your take of the full game and what you saw.
Man.
Keep rocking, brother.
Yo, I saw my man Julius just get so busy that it was hard to concentrate on anybody else. Now, Mr. Barrett had a good game, 24, 8, and 2. Excellent game. He's a good rebounder for a guard, small forward, whatever he plays. He's a pretty good rebounder.
Swing man.
But what's his popsicle stick legs? He came back, and he had a nice game too. He had 10 rebounds and 6 points. I'm talking about Nerlens Noel. 10 and 6. Taj, I don't know how this happened, but Taj played, well, he didn't play a lot, but he didn't have not one rebound. He had 4 points. He only played 16 minutes, but he didn't have not one rebound. But he was busy in there. Obi,
that's unbelievable.
Yeah, but Obi had 4 rebounds and he only got 7 minutes of play. So that was good. Every little bit counts. And Bullock, he had a typical game, 11 points, 5 rebounds, but it was Randall that was just unstoppable compared to his counterpart who he had going against him. Oh, he had Porzingis. Porzingis had a good game, 23 and 12. He had a good game. However, Doncic, who had a monster game, it wasn't enough. We did just enough in the key moments to where he wasn't really as effective as he was in the game at the Garden where they slapped us around kind of. Because that kid, he had 19 assists, 22
Yeah.
points, 19 assists,
We're gonna
and
talk
eight,
about
and
that,
eight
Bill. Go ahead.
boards. That kid is a player. He's just a player. But then they had some other guys who had 14 points for Richardson. Hardaway Jr., who some thought that he would kill us. He had a typical game against us, 16 points. But our biggest thing was the fact that our shooting, we shot over 50% from the field. And with the 3-pointers, we went 50% again. We only took 28, which is 3 above what I think that we should take. We took 28 3-pointers and hit 14 of them. You can't beat that. Free throws, we still need to step that up. We only hit 15 out of 21 free throws, and we out-rebounded them, but they out-rebounded us by 1 on the offensive end. They had more assists than we did because of Luka. We only had 22 assists. They had more blocks than us. They had more steals than us. Turnovers were even, but they didn't have what we have, and that was Mr. Franchise. And that he was the key, and he was the reason why I wish we played them a few times. I wish they were over here in the East and we played them 4 times a year, because I guarantee you they might win 1. Because if we saw them often enough and we know what each other does, I don't think they could beat us. I don't think they're a better team than we are. If we play the way we've been playing with regard to our defensive first criteria. We held them to 109 points, which is under what they normally score. Dream is here. I know Dream is not going to be here until maybe the second half of the show, but he can tell us what they average and all of that stuff. But man, I was just happy that we beat them, and we beat them like convincingly, to where there was no doubt about whether or not they were going to be able to win that game with their 2 top guys having good games. They still couldn't beat us. And mind you, we have a couple of players that weren't there. We got Mitch, of course, who's not there, and Burks wasn't there. So we beat them without our full complement of staff, and we beat them in their home. So that was the big payback. Remember, I was telling y'all that's the music that they came out to. I think I was hearing that. I think that maybe that was in my mind, but I heard the big payback. And with that being said, let me who am I passing it up, Chop? Am I throwing the lob? I throw the lob to Papi Santos.
Thank you. And I'm going to grab it with 2 hands. I'm going to do a Shaquille O'Neal dunk, and I'm going to have both legs up like this.
Oh,
and holding that backboard. We commanded the control of the game, pace of the game. It was pretty much in our hands. Still, I wasn't too happy with the defense played on Luka, which is something that I had mentioned in the previous game in terms of how to defend them, and that's why I dropped in the chat those video clips, the 3 examples, one of which was how Scotty played Magic in the 91 finals. Number 2, when Scotty played Mark Jackson in the playoffs. And then when Scotty and Michael Jordan put the lockdown on Tony Kukoc. That's the kind of defense that I know if any team has their wherewithal to have the cojones to do, that's the kind of defense that I would implement on Luka. That's how you get him to give up the rock.
Up the ball. Right.
He wouldn't be getting double digits. It wouldn't happen. It would not happen.
Well, you gotta remember that he's a slow player.
I know.
He's a smart player, but if you look at how he plays, his body dictates how it's going. It's not the hand play. He doesn't have the quickest of hands.
Yeah,
he has a high IQ and
he knows how to use his body.
Yeah,
he does know how to use his body.
Because when you say he's playing slow, why don't he just take the ball? Can't take the ball because he has a wide body. Yeah. All he does is turn his hip and it's impossible for you to take the ball.
Right.
Then when brings his head up, whoever's open's open because he already drew the double team.
Right.
That's how he plays. So how you play him, you get two long arm defensive players to get on him where he can't see where he's throwing the ball. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we talked about in the last episode, is taking away his vision. How do you take away his vision? You get a big body on him and you make sure you press up on him and you attack his dribble. So now he has to focus on, okay, my defender, and he has to protect that ball. Now you've taken some of his vision away. And now you're forcing him to pass the ball so someone else would have to make the decision. And that's okay. I'll take my chances with that because I don't see them having the level of IQ that he does in distributing the ball the way he does. You always have those kind of players. So, but notwithstanding that, the Knicks still did what they had to do, and that was win. Of course, Randall was laying it down. I mean, there's no answer for Randall right
Nothing
now
at all.
because Randall can hit you from the three. He can post you up. He can take you off the dribble. He can hit you with the mid range. He got a full repertoire. So depending on who's defending him, he's gonna take out his toolbox and say, okay, I'm gonna go to work like this, or I'm gonna use this tool for that. You know what I'm saying? And that's he's having a career year. So we gotta enjoy him while we seeing him playing at this level. It's a beautiful thing. Now, in terms of other defensive strategies that I like to implement, I was looking at film, and I know you guys are gonna remember this, of our main man, Muggsy Bogues.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yo, I'm looking at
Muggsy pick you up from the national anthem.
man.
That's right. But we always say that. Why let a man roll the ball down there? Put pressure on him. He's not
Yeah,
going to beat you as long as you play smart. He's not going to beat you down court. But to let these guys roll the ball and get time when not need be, or when you have a good guard that you need to pick up and put his concentration on keeping the ball coming down court
protecting the ball.
instead of surveying the court to see
Yes.
where he's going. I think that would be a plus for our defense, and that's what we need to do. So you're right.
Yeah, even in this game against Dallas, I mean, you know how many times they were giving the ball to Luka. Luka was letting it dribble up the court, and because he wasn't gonna let the clock start until he picked it up. And I'm like, yo, get up on this cat, work the clock, man. This guy is trying to work the clock to his advantage. Make him pick up the ball and dribble it. You know what I'm saying? But we need our guys that are coming off the bench, whether it's Frank, whether it's Quickly, especially Quickly. Quickly needs to do that because he ain't gonna foul out. That cat ain't fouling out in the game. He's not getting enough minutes. I mean, he's getting toasted, but he's not fouling out. So if you're gonna get toasted, you might as well go for broke, go for a steal, be a Muggsy Bogues on defense.
Right.
What's wrong with that? You're gonna get yours on offense, but first play some D. Play full court. Pick up somebody who's bringing up the ball and try to rip them. Make them work. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that I can't say and stress enough. We need our guys to use. We have to. How can I say this? If I was coaching the Knicks, I would say to them, okay, we're gonna have a hustle stat. In terms of how you attack the dribble of a given offensive player, getting loose balls, boxing out, because a lot of these stats to a certain extent are not quantified within the current structure of the stats that we have, that the NBA uses and so forth and so on. But within a team, I would chart those types of categories because I think those are contributing factors to victories. If you tighten up all those little things, man, you will be dominant. With that being said, go ahead, Notorious. Keep it up, brother. Rock.
I think you're right. I think that defense wins games, number one. And it's been proven over and over again. I think what you're saying is true, that certain stats aren't being given. And well, like you saying, keeping those stats for a team. Oh yeah, and having bonuses for those type of things. Oh yes, I would wholeheartedly agree. Picking up the man soon as they take the ball out, because certain times a lot of teams are lazy taking the ball out, and that's the best time to steal the ball.
Hmm.
Free 2 points. Why not? Or and one because they're so frustrated that they were lazy about it.
Hmm.
You
And,
know,
and we're young enough to do that. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like we got a bunch of 38-year-olds where you can't play that tough defense. We got a young enough team to play hard, picking them up 90, 95 feet for the 48 minutes if we have to, and and get some dubs out of here. Defense. That's the only way that we're gonna make some noise in this playoffs is with the defense. Uh
we
oh.
got enough guys to play 2 games.
Uh oh. Uh oh.
Oh, the invisible man is now visible.
Water. Agua. Agua.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Hola, agua.
Hey, ¿qué pasa? Liquid gold. How's everybody doing?
Good, good.
All right.
I see smiles all around, so
You know that. You know
there's
that.
joy, there's joy in Mudville. Okay. I'm sorry I missed the beginning of this conversation. It sounded like it was very, very interesting. But just to chime in on the last game, and
Yeah.
I appreciate the video, about the beatdown.
Oh, the one that Notorious's brother.
You passed
That was
it to me,
Steven,
right?
right?
That was my brother Steven sending that.
Yeah, that was his brother who said that. He put that on I tell you, well, we have the family chat,
Right.
the Knicks chat, and he put that on there.
Okay.
Certain things that go on there, me and Notorious, we throw them on our chat because
We appreciate.
it's just funny.
Love the humor, man. But basically, that's what happened, man. We basically spanked them. It's like, take your baby to work day. Luka thought he was going to do something, and we spoke about this, and it came about. Dibs put bullocks on him, right from the start, and it worked. And even like that threw him off. He was complaining. He was upset that he was being guarded so tightly. I don't know. He was like off his game, and Randall was on his. Okay, Randall did his thing one more time. He doesn't seem as tired as he was 4 or 5 games ago when we were going through that little bit of a struggle. And now we're coming home to a homestand that is very manageable, very winnable. And but I think these boys are coming in today with a little bit of an attitude. They've lost 2 in a row, one against us and another one, the Pelicans. That is, I forgot who they lost to the last game. I can't.
They played the night before, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they lost that game. I forget who
They lost that game. So they lost 2 in a row. They might
was it against Portland when Zion fouled Dame? No, it was against Westbrook. It was against Washington.
Washington. It was
Washington.
Yes.
Zion fouled Westbrook with a second left on the clock.
Let's go through that again, please. That was like that phantom 4-point play for LJ. Remember that?
Phantom. No, that was legit, man. That was legit.
That was legit.
So I think that was a bad call. But again, they called it and they lost. I don't have a horse in that race. I don't care who would have won or lost that game because they don't affect our standing. But that was a bad call for Zion. They might have a little bit of an attitude over that and might come in here with more motivation to beat us, being that we beat them the last game. We have to be very careful to come and play every game. Just stay in the now,
Every game is the playoff game right now.
Just about. Just about. We are 2 games over 500. We need to keep that or make it 3 and
Three.
keep
We're
that.
3 over.
We're
But
3 over, 30 and
3 over
27.
500 keeps us in the 5th, 6th
Yes.
spot.
Yeah.
We don't want to be in the 7th spot playing in. But, if we are, we are. I mean, I'll take anything at this time, just, but because 7 through 10 is going to be the same thing. You're going to be playing in, even though you only play 1 game in the 7th spot and 2 games in the others. But still in all, 6 would be a wonderful place to be at the end of this, 18 games or something like that at the most.
Yeah, what are we?
So
30 to 57.
we need to win 10 of them, man.
We think we got 15 left?
I think the
Yeah,
West
15.
Coast had 18.
Well, you gotta look at it in terms of running the numbers. Is between us, Atlanta, and Miami, and everybody's on that playoff run right now. That's why I said every game is a playoff, because between the 3 of us determines who's going to have those seats.
Right.
Well, 15 games left. Let's win them all. Let's win them all.
Hello, we're gonna have to check what it is that you're putting in your coffee, bro. Win them all.
Let's win them all.
Win them all. I mean, win them all would be
would be a nice dream, but you woke up. No. Would be a nice dream, but you woke up and said, "Damn, I gotta go to work."
Yeah. Hit lotto. Sorry. Yes, sir. Yes. So, absolutely. It really feels good this morning to wake up to a nice 5-game winning streak and a possibility of going. What is this? 6 games that we're going to be doing now at home.
Yeah, 6 games.
But you notice now we're on the national network TV for this game.
Well, they scheduled those games not knowing how good we were going to be.
No, but listen, how many seasons have we not been on national TV?
Right. So I don't know who thought about this, but they definitely got themselves a really good, game out of it, a meaningful game.
Absolutely.
So was it the schedules were made in
Christmas game, and who want to see the Knicks on Christmas?
But the schedule wasn't the schedule. The schedule was done during the season, the second half of the schedule. Remember, they had a first half of the season schedule and a second. So I'm pretty sure that they were looking at us in that first half and said, "Okay, we can give these guys some national games to cover because they're gonna be in the playoffs anyway. Might as well let the world see, what they bring into the playoffs or what they could possibly bring to the playoffs." So.
Well, I don't think they determined that early who's going to be on national TV or not. It all depends on what teams are hot and what teams they like. Remember, it's like Dallas. Dallas is always on there,
right.
But in terms of who, they see that the Knicks are hot, so we're going on certain days. Yeah, we got the Knicks in this game. That's going to be a good game. They're playing good. Let's get them on there. That's why I said, how many seasons have gone by without us being on national TV
at all,
besides the Christmas game?
And deservedly so. I mean, we had a horrible record. Most of those previous seasons, we were already, out of it by December.
Right.
And this year, that wasn't the case. This year, we hovered throughout around 500, but we also show how, competitive we are as a team. And then, of course, we're right in the mix of the playoffs. So, it's in their interest, it's in the NBA's interest to have the Knicks in the playoffs because it's about money, y'all. It's all about the Benjamins. And having the Knicks in the playoffs, it helps ratings, whether you love us or you hate us, but you're going to watch us. You know what I'm saying? That's the old adage of Mike Tyson. Either you love me or you hate me, but you're going to watch me. You're going to pay to watch me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's what we're experiencing right now. And we are the benefactors of that as Knicks fans, because now we can enjoy our team winning after so many years of losing. Now we're in a really good spot. It's a matter now of continuing that streak, starting with today's game. So we're gonna transition into today's game, which is against the New Orleans Pelicans again. We played them just a few days, 2 games ago, and now we're gonna play them again. I anticipate, but I don't know. Maybe you guys have checked this already, but I do anticipate that Lonzo Ball most likely will
I
play
think he
in
is.
this game.
I saw something they were doing the matchups. I didn't read the article, but they had him in the game.
Okay.
And they had Burks still out for us. I think Burks is out on COVID protocol.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So he's gonna be out for at least another week or so.
Right.
But yeah, if Lonzo plays, that's gonna change the dynamics of this game, because in the previous game, yeah, you had Zion bringing the ball up and stuff like that, and yeah, he can handle it, but he doesn't have the same explosiveness in terms of distributing the ball as Lonzo does. So that's the X factor. Lonzo plays today. That's what we really have to defend. We got to defend the transition offense
and the back door.
And the back door, exactly. So, that's something that we really, really have to look at carefully for this game. With that being said, I want to pass the rock to Notorious so that you could give us a little bit more of your take, your insight on what you think needs to be done today's game to win.
I think today's game, that when you got Alonzo by the sidelines, you need to trap him with 2 players, and then to sideline the third player, take away his vision, because the man got a vision. That's why they wanted him as a guard with the Knicks. All right? Take away the back door. Got to take away that back door. We have too many easy 2-pointers because people are saying who got who. You got to clean that up. I think that we can win this game. I think we can win this game convincingly. I also think that there's times in this game where we can drop into a zone, believe it or not. I mean, they don't have great shooters. JJ is gone and Lonzo is there. And who else do you really have?
B.I.
So,
B.I.
Remember he let us up the other day.
But his percentage is not going to win the game by itself. So I think that we can win this game. Like I said, the most important thing is trap Lonzo and get that back door. That's what I believe that we need to do. And with that, I'm passing it down low through the legs to my cuz, Bill Stradamus.
And me, I'm going to do like I did last game. Oh, you said down low. Okay, so I'll just I'll bite Dream's last dunk, and I'll leave my elbow hanging in the rim after I throw it on the big man who tried to slide over and help out. I threw it on him, and I'm after he fell, I'm just looking down at him while I'm hanging on the rim. And I would be remiss if I did not bring up the block of the game by Noel.
Oh, yeah.
The block was crazy.
Yes.
The block was and the block was just so crazy. And every time I see Noel play, he does something that makes me feel like, listen, we got to keep this dude. We got to keep him going forward, regardless of whether we get Cat or not, or some other big man they might have their eye on. I think we need to keep this dude. Especially if we don't get Cat or something like that, because then we're gonna have Mitch, who's seemingly injury prone type of player now. So we need to keep Noel. Noel is a very smart defensive player who just needs to work on that offense. So maybe who's the guy who works with the big men for the Knicks?
From Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coach.
Maybe he'll work with Noel this summer, and we'll see an even better version of him.
But if not, if somebody got his address, man, I'm gonna send him some stickum from Amazon.
some stickum for his hands, right?
Yeah,
that stuff that Lester Hayes and them used to use.
Absolutely, I used to use it when I was playing.
He needs stickum, and he He needs a diet. We need to send him down south to see somebody's grandmother, and he needs to stay with her for like a month, and be fed some some
Steaks. Some
potatoes, some
steaks.
steaks, some collard greens, and
Grits.
put some weight on it. Yeah, some grits. Yeah, put some weight on that brother's bones. But
We can start a collection so that he can eat at Mama Joe's every day.
I like it. But I agree with you guys. We have to concentrate now on ball, because when Zion handled the ball, he's like you stated, Santana. He's not the same facilitator that they get when Lonzo is in there. And so when Lonzo in there, we're gonna have to concentrate on getting the ball out of his hands, and not getting it out of his hands down low to Zion, because that's going to be a problem. That is definitely going to be a problem. It was a problem last game when he was the majority ball handler, but he was still able to get the ball down low on occasions, and he was a problem down there. So with Lonzo being in the game, we got to watch the back door, because he likes the back door to him and to Steven Adams. Steven Adams come up with these high picks, and then we seemingly don't know how to either switch or stay with your man, and we just keep getting caught out there. So it'll be twice as bad if we let Lonzo just come in all willy-nilly and doing whatever. We need to keep the same intensity on him that we kept on Zion last game, and that we even tried to keep on Luka the very last game that we played. We got to keep a guy in his shirt, a la Muggsy Bogues, and use, like you said, in situations when he's going towards the sideline, another defender come up and help. And so you have seemingly 3 defenders on him when it's actually 2. And, get the ball out of his hands earlier than later. Don't let him set up or what have you. We got to watch again. We got to watch B.I., because B.I., that's a bad man. That's a bad man, B.I., and Lonzo, of course. We held everybody else basically in check. Hardaway has 16, so he may get the same today, but it wasn't a 16. It wasn't an effective 16. It wasn't something that that kept them in the game or what have you. He just made some baskets. Adams, on the other hand, he didn't do much scoring. I think he had maybe 10 rebounds, but that's good, because Noel had 10 rebounds as well. And Obi came in, like I said, he had 4 rebounds at his limited time. What I did notice, quickly only had 6 minutes, and he was only able to give us 3 points in those 6 minutes.
He was hanging out with Dougie Fresh.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. 6 minutes.
I'm talking about my man like that.
Yo, 6 minutes, bro.
6 minutes.
That's all he gave.
We love him, but he's getting his. I think this past, I want to say 10 or so games, Tibbs is giving him somewhat of a wake-up call. Listen,
he's giving him some medicine.
These are the things you need to do, and when you don't do it, come sit next to me and say,
That's right. Come sit next to me.
Smell my new cologne. That's what it's going to have to be. And then now though, with Boogie Burks being out, Rose has got to get some more. Go ahead and say it, Bugs.
Pearl 2.0, man.
I told you, Pearl didn't come off the bench, man.
But Pearl was the finisher.
But he didn't come off the bench.
But he was still the finisher.
I'll give him that. Once he starts, if Tibbs makes him a starter and he does this, then I'll switch his nickname in a second. But as long as he's coming off the bench and he gets that bounce, he comes off the bench with that bounce.
It's not the same game. Back then, hand checks, elbow checks, it's not the same game. Now, if you touch somebody or they clip their nail, it's a foul. Come on.
Which is okay. So that's the game. Then you need to be able to take advantage of that. Just like these guys who do that now, like Harden, Dame. You got to be able to take advantage of that.
Well, that's why most guards are stopping in the middle and letting somebody run into them. Yeah. Because that wasn't acceptable back then in the day. Now
you see, that's That's what Quickly even tries to do.
That's what they all
came
do
in
now.
trying to do that, trying to just draw fouls or just throw it towards the rim and
But
see
the
what
problem
happens.
is, Quickly doesn't concentrate on the shot. He's more concentrating on the foul.
And that's why he's now concentrating on sitting next to Tibbs and learning the game, learning what
That's
he's
right.
supposed to do. So
That's
that
right.
is what it is. Okay. With that being said, let me throw it up top to Santana.
No, go ahead. Go
Okay,
to
I'm gonna
H2O. H2O.
go Agua. Let me pass it over to
Listen,
you.
stop killing my boy, man. He's only a rookie. He's giving us more than we expected. Okay, but unfortunately, along with inexperience comes a lot of mistakes, and we're gonna have to put up with those.
Yeah.
That's the learning curve. You're gonna have to. He's gonna
Well,
have.
that's
to
why
do
we
that.
have erasers.
And that's why we need all those other people that were brought in, because we need more of those seasoned guys, the Rose, the Burks, Alfred. We need those guys in there to help out while in the process of these young guys getting their game together where they can be more consistent.
Hey, 2.0.
Yes,
Give my boy Peyton some props, man.
absolutely. I said Alfred.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
because
Oh man, yo.
he's proven himself when everybody was down. I told you, you need to keep this boy.
Again, I would never say that we need to get rid of him. I know that they talk about him in certain trades, but the reality is that all of these guys push each other. Okay? And there are days when no matter how much you push somebody, I'm only going to get 6 points. So I need you to get the 15 points. So that the point guard by committee, hello, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're getting the 18 and I'm getting the 8, and you get it, or I'm getting the 20 and you getting the 8. Either way, we getting 28 points out of the point guard. Man, I'm good with it.
There you go.
But when Alfred goes to the basket, a la Rose, oh man, teams are in trouble.
That's right. That's right.
Double punch. I'm hitting you with the left, and then I'm coming with the right, and like, wow, when is this going to stop? So that's what I got to say about the fact that everybody needs to be. Everybody is part. This is a team, and they only come together in 5 months, 6 months. Okay, no preseason, a light preseason, no summer camp, no nothing.
Preseason was what? 2 games, right?
3 or 4 maybe, but it was just 2 games, or maybe practice.
A couple of games. I think
maybe
4 games
practice
total.
and then preseason.
Yeah.
But I want to say is yes, Noel, wonderful. Mitch, yeah, you want to feed him, you want to give him, stick him. I say he needs to go to the school of Akeem Olajuwon for his footwork.
Okay? Yep.
And that'll be a different man altogether when he comes back. He needs to spend some of his millions on some private tutoring,
or hang out with Steven Adams,
or even Steven Adams. But Steven Adams is just so bulky that he's
Steven Adams uses his body.
Footwork.
Steven Adams uses his body. But if I was Mitch and Noel, I would listen. Let's pool our money together. We go snatch up Olajuwon and bring do it somewhere.
And give him,
let him work out with both of us.
And that's right. And go every day into the gym.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, but let's not forget that next guy that just got brought in. But remember, this team
man.
My man and yours, Pal. Yo, he had 2 blocks, and I don't think both of them were goaltending.
Yeah, that one that they called goaltending. I didn't think it was goaltending either. I didn't think it was. Okay. He jumped quickly. He caught me off guard too with that one. If I was a ref, I may have called goaltending because I think that he just caught everybody off guard with that.
He said but that was just too good. You have to be goaltending.
Right.
That's what it was, because they don't know him and they don't know that he can do this. But he caught some of them things on the way up, or maybe just getting to the apex. Either way, he's catching on real quickly. Okay, so I could imagine if we keep him for next year, how much better our center position is going to be.
Well, he got to go to the camp with the other two.
Except, well, maybe he does. Maybe he does, but he
Well,
looks good.
remember Dallas. Remember Dallas is looking at Mitch, and Mitch is like, well, I'm a free agent, and I'm a superstar coming out. And I think Mitch needs to sit down and rethink and stop trading his guys.
Listen, he's going to end up just like KP, thinking that the grass is greener on the other side because they wear green uniforms. Well, he could say New York.
KP, let's say it. KP didn't have the heart that he has now, and he has no heart. So when he was with the Knicks, he had less heart than he has with Dallas. Let's call it what it is.
He doesn't have it in him to be a first option, which is why he was so upset when we did what we did over here to Melo. He wanted Melo to stay because Melo being that first option kind of protects him. He's not that alpha leader first guy on your team. He's not. Mm-hmm. He's a second or third option.
He's the complement.
That's the second, but he might be even a third option.
He's the complement. He's Robin. He's not Batman.
Because for he's 7'3", and I think his rebounding, he has never rebounded or averaged double figures in rebounding. He should.
He's always
with the minutes,
but he's not.
He gets like 6 or 7 rebounds a game.
He's a 3-point shooter, so he's not gonna.
Then you're not living up to to what expectation that I would have on you. If I'm drafting you at 7'3", okay, because you can shoot threes. However, I need you down in the blocks, giving me some rebounds, giving me some block shots, because you're height alone. The height alone dictates that you should be able to do that.
Well, remember at the time when we had him, we had 2 7-footers, and he was playing the forward spot,
right?
And it wasn't the Twin Towers that you had in Texas.
No. That's on him. That's why he will forever be at best a second option, at best second, but technically with a third. If he was back here with us, he would be the second option to Randall.
Yes, he would.
And then, depending on the development of Mr. Barrett and Burks, when they come in next year, he might even have to slip down to a third option because those guys are doing the things that they need to do at their position. Meanwhile, he is, he's a little underwhelming. Let's put it that way. He's underwhelming. And the fact that he don't want to be here, I don't want him here. So that's probably why I'm feeling this way about him in the first place. So you don't want to be here, we don't want you here. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
To Mitchell, when we started, Mitchell needs to shut his mouth and see that in the situation that he's in right now is probably the best situation for him. He goes anywhere else, he's going to be on the bench somewhere because he's not going to be a prominent part of anybody's offense. And in this team, we can get away with him not giving us any offense. I mean,
except for the occasional lobs.
And it excites the crowd and excites your teammates. And those things are important also as part of the game goes on, because you can catch yourself going on a run behind a little two alley-oops and a couple, and then everybody starts to, make their shots. And you start playing harder defense when you get easy shots like that. So, yes, that works real well for us. But I'm not sure that he is in the position to dictate where he goes or to talk about how good he is.
Well, I don't think so either. I think that all that talk about I can shoot. Remember, I think it was 2 games ago when I said to y'all, I said, see, they let big men shoot. He just chooses not to shoot, but he talks about he can shoot. All right. Everybody on the team is able to shoot a shot. They're not going to take it away from you. But if you shoot it, you better hit it. Especially the way he talk about his 3-pointer. You better hit it. If you were hitting it, trust me, nobody be talking about you right now.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, he has regressed seemingly as a free throw shooter. Every summer we see these Instagram videos of him shooting threes, and then he comes into the season and he's not hitting free throws. So it's like, well, if you're not hitting your free throws, I definitely don't want to see you shooting any threes out there.
He's farsighted, man.
Well,
Well, this is the other thing. This is the other thing. If they're not able to contract Akeem Olajuwon, then at the very least reach out to Dennis Rodman. Because one thing about Dennis Rodman is positioning,
yeah.
rebounding, and defense. Okay.
And he'll take the money.
Yeah. Hey,
He'll
you
definitely
know,
take the money.
that's it's all good. It's all good. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
You can hire him.
Because that guy, it was an art for him in terms of rebounding. He was telling, the people that he was working with, he tell them to shoot, and what he was doing, he was studying how the ball would carry him off the rim,
right.
just to
That's
know how to
right.
position himself.
That's
You
right.
know?
He was a mathematician.
You know what I'm saying? So Robinson can learn a lot from Rodman in that respect, and also positioning. Because Rodman on the defensive end, he was locking guys down, whether it was a forward, small forward, and or a center. And the guy was what, 6'8" at best.
Yep.
6'8" at best. But he could defend anybody, any position, in the low post. And even in the perimeter.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter. So, I definitely agree with you guys in respect to Mitch going to the lab and working with these Hall of Fame players that have proven it time and time again what works. And if he carved out that niche, he would have a long career, and
Definitely.
the money will follow.
Definitely.
The money will follow. Go ahead, continue, Notorious. Keep it rocking.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I've said this from the beginning. Number one, his footwork. Number two, watch the back door. Number three, positioning. You can't position yourself behind the backboard and get a rebound. I think that our numbers are starting to, unfortunately or fortunately, our numbers are starting to improve in terms of offensive rebounds while he's out. So that tells him that he needs to put in work with that when he gets better also. Offensive rebounds. You see too many teams turn around and just start running down the court and give up without looking for offensive rebound. Those teams that do look for offensive rebounds usually win games at the end because they got all the junk baskets during the game.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Yeah, Bill. Carry it on, Bill.
Well, I ain't gonna say much, anything much different than what you guys said. I agree about all of that with Mitch. He needs that development. And today's game, though, back to today's game, we're gonna have to lead by defense first, and understand that if ball plays, we're gonna have to make certain adjustments from the previous game, and that's just basically it. We got to try to get the ball out of his hands the same way we tried to get the ball out of Zion's hands when he was the majority ball handler when we played them on Wednesday. Not too much more to say about that, so I'll just slide it over to my man H2O. Let's see what he got to say.
Well, I just want to add that, I think at one point this might have been billed as Zion coming to New York to play the Knicks. And what the reality has turned out to be, that is the Knicks who are the story, not Zion. Okay? And I heard their conversation while they were playing the Mavs the other night on ESPN, and those guys were even talking about, the resurgence of the Knicks and Thibs and how Randall is carrying and how, all the other players are doing. Again, my only concern for this game and for the foreseeable future is going to be the unavailability of Burks. Because as I heard from some of these sportscasters on the radio show, they say the best ability is availability, and he's not available.
Right.
So we're in trouble. We're in trouble in that area. because those are 15 to 24 points that are
That somebody else has to pick up.
yeah, that we need other people to come up and pick up, which would be nice because it gives Rose and Elf, to give 100% while they're there, because they know they have to pick up those points, So I love to see a lot of that coming into, even though they're big inside with this guy, but he is not mobile. Okay, Adams is very stiff. All you do is fake left and go right, and he's behind you.
Yeah, but he's a big guy. He know how to position himself and get
Yeah,
those
he knows how
rebounds.
to use his body.
Absolutely.
You have to bring him out, put him out in a pick and roll situation, not pop.
Don't take that away. I wish he was a Knick.
Yeah, we all wish he was the Knicks. But again, he's playing for the Pelicans today. So we got 6 straight home games, fellas. Okay, we have the Pelicans, the Hornets, the Hawks, Toronto, the Suns.
Look at H2O pulling a G money on us.
He channeled G Money.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Salute everybody.
Salute
And
G
don't
money.
forget Bulls too. We have the Bulls after the
Oh,
show.
look at him. Look at him. We got the Bulls too.
Home stretch.
You
And how
didn't
many
see?
you expect us to win? Go ahead, G-Money.
Salute everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope your Sunday's going fine. Good
Yes,
win
sir.
in Dallas. I expect us to go 5-1 in this homestand. 5-1, or if we're lucky, 6-0. That'll be great if we sweep this homestand. But today, we gotta come out with the right focus. I know we won't have Alec Burks because of the health and safety protocol, which is a tough loss. But next man up, we got to clog the paint with Zion. We got to limit turnovers, and we got to force Brandon Ingram to tough contested shots like we did in New Orleans. And since Lonzo is playing, we got to run him off that 3-point line. Yeah, he's not the greatest shooter in the world, but he can hit the three.
He can.
He can. So we got to watch out for Lonzo. And we got to, rebound over Steven Adams and Zion. And if I were Julius, and this is a game that I think Julius Randle may have a 30-point triple-double. Don't be surprised. So, nationally televised game on ESPN. This will be a big game for us because we're a game back of Boston. Sadly, Golden State could not knock them off. They had that game and they blew it. And then Atlanta's playing Indiana today. So who knows? We can leapfrog Atlanta today if we take care of our business and maybe get some help from Indiana. So, yeah. So that's my keys for the game.
I just want to add something about what you just said. If we are fortunate enough, or if we play hard enough, or if we want it bad enough to win 6 games, that puts us at 36-27, y'all.
Which will be an 11-game winning streak, too. Don't forget. It'll be an 11-game winning streak. And don't forget, we got the Houston Rockets. Right after the homes, we have the Houston Rockets. So if we take care of home, we can go on a 12-game streak. You never know.
Whoa, brother. I said, whoa. Whoa, now.
Thank you, G Money. Before you came on, I said we have 15 games left. Let's win them all. And
win them all. Are we going to win every game? No, but we still
H2O accused me of being on something.
Excuse me?
I said that H2O accused me of being on something.
Why, that we're going to win every game? No, we're not going to win every game. That's not humanly possible. I mean, I would love to win every game. It's not humanly possible to win every game, but I do think this team will get better when the season goes on. I do think that, because when I look at the schedule, it's not a guarantee because you never know what can happen, but I think we win today. I think we can beat Charlotte without I don't want to get ahead of myself. I just want to make a quick point. I think we can beat Charlotte twice. I'm pretty sure we can beat Atlanta. Phoenix, I don't know. I think we can beat Toronto. The Lakers and Clippers, we don't know what these two teams are going to do. Are they going to play their players? Are they going to rest players? We don't know yet.
Well, AD is back.
AD may be back by that time, and I'm pretty sure LeBron's going to be back by that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
they're going to be tying up for the playoffs.
Bring it on.
That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. And for the Clippers, you still got Kawhi. I think Kawhi will be back by that time with Paul George, Rondo, Ibaka's will be bad by that time, so that's gonna be a tough game in Clipperland. Denver,
You got them
I say 50-50. No Jamal Murray. That could be a 50-50 game.
and the Suns again.
And the Suns in Phoenix. We're not gonna win in Phoenix. Let's be honest. At the Garden, we might win it in the Garden. We might beat the Suns here, maybe. I don't see us winning in Phoenix though. And Memphis could be tough. The Grizzlies will be tough. So, other than the Houston Rockets, there's no other for sure win on the road trip.
Okay.
So that's why I mean, right now this homestand is so pivotal. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because so goes this homestand, so goes the rest of the season, and also their positioning in the playoffs. I mean, if they lock this homestand down, they're pretty much in the playoffs, which is great.
Guaranteed. I mean, you still want to finish the season strong, though, but
right.
you have a good opportunity.
But even if you come out with 4-2 during this homestand, that's solid. Okay,
that's good. Yeah,
that's solid. And then if you split the remaining on the road, 50-50, 50-50, you're good, man. We're in a good position.
And then we have 3 games at home with San Antonio, Charlotte, and Boston. We can win those games at home too. Then we're good. Yeah.
Right. So it's just a matter of going out there, continue to play at the level that we're playing consistently, tighten up any little loose ends, and let the chips fall where they may. Let it be 50-50. Put it up for grab. Put your chips on the table. But rock or at least defend home court. And that's the one advantage that they currently have.
Good. And that's why I think we'll be fine
to do so. Yeah.
I think we'll be fine at home.
Right. An opportunity to lock it in during this home game stat. So go ahead, Notorious. Give us more of your take, Notorious.
Well, I gave you my take, and the only thing left is to give you the score.
Okay.
And for this game right now, the way we're looking at it, I think that it's going to be a 97-105 game, Knicks.
Okay.
105-97?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead, Bill Stradamus.
You're muted. Bill, you're muted.
My bad.
Okay, you're good.
Okay. I too think we're gonna win this. Y'all know why we're gonna win this game. We at the crib.
Yeah.
We at the crib.
And
that defense has been just too much these past 5 games for everybody. So including this team that we're playing. So they just coming back for seconds, in my opinion. They're coming back for seconds, and we're gonna give it to them. And I'll pick a score of, I'm gonna say, since Lonzo's back, they'll do a little bit of running. So the score will be a little higher. I say 112-104, New York.
Okay.
Go ahead, H2O.
Go ahead, H2O.
Wait, they scored 106 in the last game without.
Yo, that's his score, bro. You make your own prediction.
No, he has the right to criticize.
Make my own prediction based on what they did the last time.
Okay.
If it's disputing what Bill Stradamus says, so be it. But I'm not saying nothing against him. I'm just saying basically that they scored 106.
Rock, brother, rock.
Based on the fact that they scored 106 without Lonzo, I would expect them to score a few more points than that. Of course, there's only one ball. So if he's making 20, then somebody else is making a few less. I'll give him an extra 10 points.
H2O, that's 2 balls on the court.
112. I'll give him. But I want to have 120 for the Knicks.
Yeah, the Pels don't play defense. Yeah, that's
112 to 120 for the Knicks. 120, 112 Knicks.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead, G Money.
The more I think about this could be it'll be a fun first half, but I think the second half the Knicks are going to ramp it up defensively. I think this may be a blowout. I'm going to say I have a feeling here. Knicks 125, Pels 105. I think this is going to be a blowout in the second half. I say that because here's the thing with New Orleans. Yeah, they have a lot of talent, but they don't have IQ in close games. You just saw against Washington. This team was up by 9 late in that game, lost to the Wizards. Okay, And the Knicks are a more dominant home team than road team. And the Pels, they're good. They have a lot of talent, but they are garbage on the road.
Okay.
I think this is the game in which we can have finally a dominant home win. I think we'll clog the paint with Zion. I have a feeling Brandon Ingram's going to struggle today. I think Lonzo Ball's going to be a little bit rusty because he just came back. And I think, losing Josh Hart's going to be big for New Orleans and Alexander Walker. I think we win this game by 20 points. It will be a close first half, but second half, I think Julius Randle, Reg Bullock, I think maybe Emmanuel Quigley may have a few moments in the game. I think we win this game fairly handily in the second half, and thus leading to our 6th straight win. And we'll be getting closer and closer to the playoffs. And again, I know you cannot control what other teams do. I get all that. But Miami's playing Brooklyn. I'm positive the Heat are probably going to lose today. And the Hornets are playing the Blazers. I'm positive the Hornets are going to lose. So if we just come out here with the right mentality, not take the Pelicans for granted, we should be good. So I expect the Knicks to blow this team out in the second half. I see New York 125 to 105.
Okay. I picked the Knicks 110-106 over the Pelicans for this game.
Okay.
And of course, I expect them to play good solid D. They should prevail in that respect. Obviously, that's the determining factor in my opinion, but Ball will be a factor in this game. That's just he's going to show out. I mean, he's going to show his true talent, which is he sees the floor very well. He gets that ball moving in and out of, up and down the floor very quickly. He doesn't dribble the ball all the way. He gets that rebound. He looks down court. He makes that quick outlet pass, and that gets their offense moving very quickly. So the key for us is playing good transition defense so that we could slow them out into half court sets and then lock them in. So let's go one more round, just final thoughts as we close out this show. And I'm going to start out with Bill Stradamus. Go ahead, Bill. You're muted, Bill.
Oh, my bad. Final thoughts on today's game is that I'm actually watching like a little I got what channel am I on? I'm watching a little pregame. This is ESPN, and they're showing little highlights from both teams, and I'm expecting us to be up for this because it's a nationally televised game. I expect Mr. Randall to pick up where he left off in the previous game, and I can agree with you, G Money, with regard to him having a 30. What do you call it? You
30-point triple-double. I have a real feeling to have that.
I'm on that train with you. So he does that. Barrett continues to do what he does. Rose is going to come in and give us at least 15 like he always does. But then I'm expecting one of the other to step up offensively, whether it be Bullock or Quickly. Maybe Quickly can revisit a nice high scoring game. But I expect us to win and win handily. With that being said, I'll toss the ball over to 2.0.
Any given Sunday. Any given Sunday, okay? So just don't go in there overconfident about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in the now. Play your game. Our game is defense. Defense predicates the flow of the game and our offense. And people, can't handle the fact that we play defense on them. And then when we run them out, and we get a steal or so, then we come back and play the same defense even stronger again. It's like, because that fuels our defense. Getting us anybody. I mean, you all play. When your defense is on, it's like, okay, now we'll do this again. And when you come back here, we're gonna do it a third time. It's like what that video was out there. We're gonna come out with the bats. It's gonna be bats and what is it? Those knuckles or whatever. And we're gonna put a beat down on these guys like they deserve. Thank you.
Go ahead, G Money.
Yeah, you guys are right. We got to lock down, play some D, limit turnovers, and we got to come out ready to play. Don't dig ourselves a hole early because even though we've done a much better job not digging, the good news about the Knicks recently we've come up with better starts, so that's good. Let's keep coming up with good starts. Let's try to find the open man and let's play our game, like what A. Shaw says. Let's not try to do too much. Don't come here overconfident. Because, like I said, even though we've been some good teams, we have lost to some bad teams. So we got to play our style of play. We have to come up with the right mentality. And we have to play ball. Because, like you said, Santana, this 6-game homestand is very, very crucial. So, in my opinion, if we can go 5-1 or even better, win all of them, go into that road trip, I think we'll be good. So, if you're the Knicks, take this. Do not take the game for granted. Play smart, play hard, play intelligently. If you Thibs, continue to make the right rotations. If you Randall, ball out. RJ is going to have a better game. If you Derrick Rose or Quigley, be productive. And Noel, continue to clog the paint. And we should be good. So I'm gonna do a bounce pass to Notorious.
Okay, all of you, I think you're right, but I think the deal is that we have that third quarter curse, and I think the third quarter is going to bring us down, and that's why I gave the ending as I did with my score. I think that we're going to end up playing soft on the third quarter and having the rush and come back, and that's what we're good at, coming back and staying with it. But I think our third quarters need help. Our adjustments are not right, and until we get that right, we'll have a strong third quarter. But we have the third quarter curse, and that's why I gave the score that I did.
All right. And I'll say, look, the first and third quarters are very pivotal in terms of setting the tone in each half. And if the Knicks do that, then they make the game easy for themselves. If they play around and take things for granted and let the other team dictate or even win those given quarters, then of course we make it harder on ourselves. We now can't get too, you know, secure or too confident that because we've won X amount of games, 5 games in a row, okay, we've arrived. No, we still got more to
Mhm.
prove. That's
Right.
got to be the
There's
mentality
15 games
so
to
that we
go.
could be consistent
Mhm.
throughout the first, second, third, fourth quarter, play 48 minutes of solid offense, solid defense, and then we position ourselves for the victory. With that being said, I know the game is going to start in another about 15 minutes or so. I want to end this episode by saying what we always say to close out a given episode. Once a
Always a
Nick,
Nick, always
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 a
a
a
Nick.
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 All right, fellas, enjoy
Yeah.
the game. We'll keep it up in chat, in the chat room.
Yes.
All right.
See you
All
later.
right, later.
All right, all right, all right.